Vikings get ball first. Second there, I was like, wait, they're missing 2 people. I was thinking 11
Oh, crap. All right, so for those of you that are joining us, this is week 1 of the BYUI Competitive Football League. We have the Vikings versus the Wildcats. Vikings will start with the ball. Some different rules. It's 9-man football, so a little different than your typical football you're used to. That kickoff that you just witnessed, in this league, we don't advance kickoff. So wherever the ball's fielded, it'll start from there. If it's caught in the air, they'll advance it about 15 yards.
And that's a safety thing for the insurance policy that they agreed on. Before, they didn't do kickoffs at all, like 10 years ago or so. But now they do that just so people can kick an onside if they need to.
Swing route to the running back to the backfield. Looks like the ball incomplete. All right, let's take a look at the Vikings offense real quick. So I want to hear your input, Logan. Some key guys to look out for, key pieces to the game, what they need to do.
Well, the Vikings aren't quite as big as the other team. They got to remind me a little more shifty in the open field, breaking some tackles. If it's just being physical and hitting each other, I think the advantage goes to the Wildcats. But the Vikings would have to rely a little more on scheming and strategy and that type of stuff.
Yeah,
they have some smart guys, of course.
For sure. Anyone who watched the league last year, the Vikings are coached by last year's coaches for the Wildcats. So Bob Torres and Carson Hart are the coaches for this Vikings team. They like to do a lot of, as Logan mentioned, some more spread out the ball, throw the ball around type stuff. So their quarterback's able to get the ball around accurately. They should be able to move the ball pretty well. First carry was for about 6 yards, so they're at 3rd down and short here in this opening drive. Carry up the middle, that'll pick up the 1st down. I apologize, we do not have rosters right now. We're trying to get that to us. So names of the players I'm not quite sure of currently, but we're looking to get somebody to bring us a roster.
Yeah, it would be 1st down Vikings. 2 straight good runs there. Last year, at least, they had usually a pretty good mixture in their play column between running backs. Wildcats with a 3-man, what was that, 2-man front. 2 defensive linemen.
Quarterback scrambles, he's got some room, he's quick.
Ooh, that's a good run there. Another good block. I think they could stop short, but good run.
So we got 1st and goal from the 10. I don't see any flags. It looks like the play will stand there. A good explosive play by the Vikings. That's what we want to see week 1. At least personally, I want to see the ball moved. I want to see some good football. I know in years past, week 1 can always be a little bit of a challenge. We see some sloppy tackling, sloppy, handoffs, things like that.
A lot of fumbles. Week 1 usually.
So a good start here for this Vikings team.
Yeah, that 9-yard line, 9 yards from Warren. They're in the shotguns, pickings. And number 10 wide open.
Holds on to that one, put up with the 5. Yeah, I'm curious to see. I know a lot of teams last year, if you're watching this Wildcats defense, they're doing a 2-man front. So a lot of teams started with that last year, kind of found out that it didn't work super well. Sterling, him and his coaching staff for the Wildcats, their 1st year coaches to this league. So it'll be interesting to see if they adjust it all or if they try to run that this whole game.
Yeah, well, they were there that play. It worked. Running back had nowhere to go. He's able to power forward to at least get back to the line of scrimmage.
So bring up 3rd and goal. Looks like it's about at the 4-yard line.
And I don't know if anyone in this league this year is going to do any field goals. So if they get stopped here, they'll probably just go for the touchdown or 4th down. I don't think they're going to. against a two-man front, it should be a lot easier to run the ball. Two-man front is something to do more against the pass.
Definitely.
Oh, just a little short.
Screen to the outside. He was close to getting to the end zone, but they're able to take him down. That'll bring up 4th down. I want to say we're at the yard line. That's what it looks like. So 4th and goal from the 1. First big decision here. I don't think it's really that big of a decision. They're going to go for it, but we'll see momentum swing here if they're able to get a stop on defense.
Yeah, that would be a big stop by this defense.
They're still running that 2-man front, though, so I'll be surprised to see if the Vikings don't try to run it up the middle and pick up this yard.
Yeah, I think it'll be a handoff up the middle. Oh, the bad snap.
Looks like ball goes over to Downs to the Wildcats.
That's a big play. Looked like it was going to be a run up the middle, but then a bad snap stopped them from even getting the playoff. Well, a good drive overall by them. Kind of a bummer for them not to get the points, but they were able to at least get a first down and get a couple first downs, get a couple good plays in there. And so that's something they can build off of.
I think that's what you want to see. Drive 1 definitely coming out. You want to see that your team can move the ball. So that's, they got something to build on here. Now we're going to look at the Wildcats. So for the Wildcats on offense, they're a lot, I'd say the opposite almost of the Vikings. They're going to try to run the ball up the middle. You can see coming out of this formation, they're tight. Got a lot of bodies in there, and they're just going to try to really just destroy your will here throughout the game. Take it nice and slow and bully you. But they're stopped short for a big tackle on 1st down. Bring up 2nd down on about 12.
Yeah, I think they just missed the blocking assignment there. But they're not going to give up on the run even if that happens 3 or 4 more times.
Yeah, that's the philosophy for teams that like to run this type of stuff. You can't quit on it early. You got to just be dedicated to it. So I expect to see them, even if this first drive here doesn't give them anything to commit to this run game, try to wear down the Vikings defense.
Yeah, the offense that the Wildcats are running, Paul, the coach of the Vikings, he runs that with his high school team, so he's very familiar with it. So I think that does give them an advantage there. It's still an offense that even if the other team sees it, it's still working. More football, just wear the other team down. 3rd and long, though, they're probably going to have to pass here, or at least go to the outside. They can't just run up the middle here.
They're lining up in that same formation here in 3rd and long. See if they'll play action out of this. They go on 2.
Right on the defense.
Looks like they're signaling offsides here, so it should be a 5-yard addition and 2nd and about 7, I'd say.
Now they can kind of run their offense, do a run up the middle, even if they're treating this as 4-down territory. Maybe not this far back.
Yeah.
Some teams just go 4 and 4 from that.
Yeah. Looks like he might have the room. It looks like he'll pick up the 1st down there. So that'll bring up 1st down and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, the Wildcats are already really just taking their time on the drive. That's probably what they're going to do, just take up a lot of time, and if their plan, if things go according to their plan, the other team won't need to get the ball for a while.
Yeah, the team like this, I can see them realistically running out the entire quarter here if they're able to pick up 3 yards to carry. Now it breaks for a little bit more, so he's about 2nd and 1 here after that carry. They're starting to pick up some of that momentum and do what they want to do here with that wing tee.
If they want to try to play action pass, then they only have 2 yards to go anyways for 3rd and 4th down. But I think they're probably just going to run up the middle again and get the other first down.
It's like the same play, back to back, picks up another few yards.
Yeah, back there, I thought he was handed to a different guy. Like, they have the 3 running backs back there, so that was part of this offense. They would trick people a little bit, get the linebackers going in the wrong direction. Has the ball.
Yeah, and Sterling, obviously, he knew what he wanted to run, so he drafted a lot of size here on this team. You can see that whole offensive front. They got some big boys up there.
Last couple handoffs both looked a little funky. They still got good yardage, but like the QB had to like stop, and I don't know, that's just the type of thing that week one is a little more common as the year goes on. They'll get that a little more smooth. Hopefully they're getting
Yeah,
more smooth.
for sure.
They still got good yards. First and second and 16.
So still no passes from this Wildcats team, and that's what we kind of expected to see here. A huge commitment to the run game. Brings up third down. So this is the kind of stuff for me, as having played high school football for an offense that loves to run the ball. It's really hard for teams like this to convert third downs, right? So they don't want to be in a spot where they have to make up a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. So this is kind of that middle ground where it's like, do you run the ball? Can you pass the ball? What do you got in your playbook for this type of situation?
Yeah, and that's where on defense too, even if you give up a couple first downs, you get just one big play and it's 3rd and long and you're looking good. Even if you just had 5 bad plays in a row, you just need one good play realistically to give you a good chance of getting off the field. But they're going to have to tackle a little better than that right now. Right now the running backs are getting plenty of yards after. We'll see if the running backs wear down. Conditioning plays a big part, especially against a team that likes to run the ball. Almost every play, literally every play so far. First and 10. Again, the timing of the play looked just on the handoff looked just a little off, but they were able to get a few yards. Vikings with a sub on defense. Number 30 going back to 60.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on that roster. I think we'll be able to get it here in a second. Looks like it might have been a false start.
Yeah, the defense definitely looked offsides there too. The defensive tackle was, they called that on the offense. The defensive tackle was out watching it to help it throw the ball. Now 2nd and 12. Likely to be a run up the middle. We're going to have to get the run to the outside. It's all basically up the middle.
Yeah, inside the tackles, really. They had a couple counter plays where they'd go right inside that tight end or tackle position, but nothing too outside so far.
Ooh, defense looks like they have 2 players offsides.
Some power play.
Yeah, this is where it's easy to tell what they're going to do on offense, but they're not trying to trick people. Like, they're okay with people knowing what they're going to run. They're like, well, we're just going to get a good play anyways. Make a better play than they're having. The coach has been very open about that. He's told all of us, other coaches, what he's going to run, like, a month or 2 ago.
Yeah, I mean, and that's I think that's really the difference so far, is that the Wildcats have been able to move that defensive line. We'll see if you can kind of see those linebackers starting to crouch up.
Less than 2 minutes ago now in the first quarter.
Oh, pump fake. He's got room. There's space. He might take this one all the way. I think he will. Fumble. Oh my goodness. Looks.
I can't tell who got it. The Vikings were there, but I don't know if he grabbed it. Refs are saying the Wildcats still have it. That was good running to have that fumble there. I think his teammate was able to pick it up though.
So a huge run. They avoided passing there. It looks like they're going to give the Wildcats the ball there at the 8-yard. Similar to something, a play last year, fullback wide open up the middle, takes it about 70 yards, and then about the 5-yard line gets the ball popped out. But luckily for the Wildcats there, he'll do it this time.
Yeah, that was my team. It was like an 85-yard touchdown at the 1-yard line. The ball gets popped out. Still have nightmares of that play. Oh, touchdown. And they took a lot of time off the clock. There's a minute 16 left in the first quarter. 6-0. And I'm assuming they're going to go for 2 and not kick an extra point. So even their pass play ended up being a run.
Yeah.
So that was all runs, so 10 plays or so.
Still zero passing attempts.
Yeah. For sure, QB, he had a good move there.
Yeah.
If he didn't, if it wasn't for that pump fake, he would have been sacked and it'd probably be Vikings ball right now. Looks like he got it. Yep. Almost every play a Vikings player has gotten to the ball carrier in the backfield, but they're not getting the tackles back. For that play, a guy made contact first with the ball, but the ball carrier was able to just keep going, keep his legs chopping, and make a good play. So they have some good running backs.
The bright side for the Vikings, they did have a great first drive, so they're going to want to come out and do that again. Obviously, punch it in this time, instead of that stuff on the 1-yard line.
Yeah, and hopefully for them, they could eat up some clock, take at least 3-4 minutes off the clock if their defense takes a rest. I mean, most of the players are on offense too, but it kind of wears you down mentally if you're just on defense the whole time.
Right.
That time of possession battle is a big deal.
Yeah, but I think your point earlier is a big thing to look out for. So, that defensive front doing a good job, but where the problems happen is those linebackers come to fill and they're missing tackles. And against a team like this with big backs that are just going to run you over, you can't afford to miss those.
Yeah, and right now their linebackers seem just maybe just a little hesitant, maybe a little confused at who's getting the ball. I know there have been a few plays where I wasn't sure who had the ball, so that's something where they just got to figure that out.
Yeah.
As the play goes on, they kind of figure out, get more confidence, knowing what the other team's going to run, and just go make the play without hesitation.
All right, I think that we got rosters, so we should be able to start announcing those. So they'll kick off, they'll pooch it again. Number 34 makes the reception. So the kickoff zones from the 50 to the 30, I believe. Anywhere the balls are covered in there, the ball will just be down there. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm off by a couple yards. But inside the 20, that return zone starts to happen, or if a player catches the ball in the air, they'll move it up 15 yards. So the Vikings will start with the ball right here at the, looks like 36-yard. So they motion and guide it over to the right, and a handoff to the middle. Not much there.
My guitar right now, it would be.
So it looks like they got it going to the right, putting it the ball, number 7. Incomplete on that play. So number 18 for the Wildcats on the defense there. Parker's starting. Good block. Quarterback had some pressure in his face, wasn't able to quite get there, but that was good defense. There was really nowhere to put the ball. flat, but he takes a deep shot. The sideline, drops it. He might have had his feet in bounds if he was able to get a completion there. And that looked like number 7, Carson Wells on that route. So we got 4th down and long.
Looks like they're going to punt. Which probably the smart thing to do here. 4th and 9. Not the best punt, but a
It
good
bounced a little
bounce.
bit though.
Yeah, the bounce kind of redeemed that.
So
The same as kickoffs, you can't return them. This thing, everyone is treated as a fair catch.
we got about 15 seconds here left in the first quarter. It's an 8-0 ball game with the Wildcats having the lead, and they have the ball currently. Also something to remember, so the Vikings received to start the game, so the Wildcats will get the ball in half. They're looking to run out as much clock as they can here on this drive and put the score. Go into the halftime up 16 or so to 0.
Yeah, I think both teams will get the ball just once this quarter. That'll get a lot of clock if they don't score here. They really take their time in the plays. Yeah, that was some better tackling there. That was good. That went to a 2-yard gain. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. Second and 8.
All right, we're back. Start of the second quarter. Wildcats still with the ball.
QB keeper.
Yeah,
And they lost about 2 yards. That'll be 3rd and 10. So I'm curious to see their play call here where they like to run the ball. They may try a 2 count again, try to get the other team to go off sides like they did on the first drive.
Yeah, especially against a team like this where you know they're not built for 3rd and long situations. You cannot jump off sides here. You can hear Bob calling "Be smart." Good call there. Got to watch the ball. This is a chance for a quick 3 and out here for the Vikings defense. You can kind of see, so they're running a 5-man front now here on defense. So they did make an adjustment. They're really dedicating to stopping this run game.
Okay, I was looking at the wrong ball carrier, but they were all over both of the right backs. So that's a good play there on defense, good play recognition. 4th down, I'm assuming they are going to punt.
So for the Wildcats, quarterback, his name is JT. He played last year as a quarterback as well.
He was for the Wolverines last year.
Yeah, for the Wolverines. So new team for him this year. A couple guys in the backfield. I know number 25, Collier Lamb, I think is his name. Collier Land, one of their ball carriers. I'll get you guys the names of the other ones. We've got the roster finally, so hopefully we can.
Oh, I thought they were going to block that punt.
Decent punt considering that it was almost blocked. So they'll
Yeah.
start at about the 40.
So about a 25-yard punt.
But that's good for the Vikings here. That was a good answer for this Wildcats team that really ran the ball 95 yards on them that first drive.
Yeah, if the Wildcats did the same thing, it'd be a lot of momentum on their side. And, momentum is a big deal in football. Even though it's mostly mental, it's a big deal. That Vikings already making good adjustments, like you said, on defense, making it a 5-man front, having the extra guys in the D-line. See if they make any adjustments on offense, or try to just do some of the same stuff they've been doing, just hopefully just a little bit better. Looks like their timing on their passes have been just a little off, but they've had their opportunities.
So number 1, I believe that's Carson Hart carrying the ball there. He's their quarterback, or sorry, their offensive coordinator. So he's calling the plays for this team. He did it last year. I know this year he was talking about how last year he was a little bit too, what's the word he would use? A little bit too extra maybe on offense.
Yeah.
Large number of plays. So this year he's trying to simplify a little bit.
So this will be 3rd and
you want to push it back?
5. Had the camera fall.
That's why we can't have nice things. Looks like trips to the right, the tight end and the 2 receivers. Speed option. Breaks a tackle, not much though, so that'll bring up 4th down. Looks like there might be an injured player down. No, I think he got it.
Ref getting a little fired up about something. What?
All right, Logan. So what's your move here on your own 44-yard line?
I'm
9
going
minutes
for it
left.
here.
Going for it. Okay, 4th and 6.
We'll say what play. Yep, they're going for it. I think they'll try a more typical pass downfield rather than one to the backfield this time. Most of their passes have been a little shorter.
They got all the time in the world, but nothing.
It was good coverage. They only had, it looked like, 2 receivers going out for a route.
So that defensive end, Connor, I don't remember his last name, but Connor, he wrestled collegiately, I want to say, number 44, but I could be mistaken.
From Sugar Salem, I believe. Not a ton of experience with football, but super strong. He has some experience, and he's a good athlete. He's a good pickup for the Wildcats. Connor Wood, you have a break now. Wildcat ball.
That's been the interesting thing for me, that with that 2-man front, they've been able to put pressure on him, which is not a great thing for the Vikings if they're getting sacked or getting pressure in their face with two pass rushers. But hopefully they can figure that out.
Yeah, because with only 2 pass rushers on defense for the Wildcats, that's a lot of people out there guarding the receivers. So they've had a hard time getting open so far.
It looks like a delay of game, so that'll back them up 5.
Yeah, they were taking their time there. So 1st and 15.
Oh, man.
He deflected it. He could have tried picking off. Either way, good play. Second and long.
One of the few pass attempts here for Wildcats on first down. So they trying a little bit of new tier starting the second quarter. Still expecting them to run the ball quite a bit, but if they can get a little bit of a better mix on the run pass, it could be dangerous for them.
Yeah, they'll need better protection there. Vikings had two guys chasing the QB. The Wildcats did have one player who was getting open there, but the quarterback was just running for his life, so that's a tough road.
And it looks like we have one like, so that means we're not the most annoying competition, so that's good.
Oh, definitely better than people I've heard in place.
Talking about Tony Romo, or what's your, who's he called?
He's gotten better.
Okay.
His first year was a little rough. He's gotten better. Well, the NFL had to meet with him to talk with him about his bad commentating. So what was that? Neutral zone infraction?
Looked like it, yeah. So move up the ball a little for him, kind of counteracts that delay game. So we got second down and 10.
Yeah, had two of those penalties so far, which is this is typical in the first game. Some of those penalties, kind of sloppy goal mistakes. That's typical streak of the year.
Power to the left.
Good tackle there by number, who is that?
Spencer Pickering, I believe.
Spencer Pickering.
He's a solid athlete, so he's the kind of guy that you want in that middle of the field making tackles on a run team like this. So again, this is what I was mentioning earlier, these third and longs. It's tough for a team that's so compact and so committed to the run to throw from a formation like this.
But the QB can get loose like he did last time. Like, their QB is a good athlete, but he's not going to be able to just run every time. They're going to have to complete a pass or two, I think. The Vikings defense is already getting better and figuring things out.
Yeah.
Oh,
fumble, ball's on the ground.
Looks like
I think the Vikings might have got it. I think the Vikings might have got that.
Yeah, we'll see what the refs say, but I think Vikings got it.
No, it looks like they're calling Wildcats ball.
Okay. Either way, fourth and long, they're probably punting. Just affects field position.
And really, a team like this that knows they can chew the clock, knows they can run the ball, they're fine punting away on this situation, especially with a lead, getting the ball in the second half. Like you said, backing them up into some deep field position. Don't want to let it bounce back.
Bounce there by the Wildcats. Throw a punt for 20 yards again.
What are you looking to see here from this Vikings offense? Drive number 3, I want to say now.
If I'm them here, I try to establish the run and then work the play action off of that. Like, their passing is just the Wildcats are reading the routes well and they're covering well. But with that two-man front, the Vikings should be able to get a couple good runs up the middle for all the Wildcats inside. That would go over the top or
yeah, I mean,
on the outside.
I totally agree. I think you have to make the defense respect the run before you can throw, which is kind of the opposite of their game plan so far. And it looks like they dropped the pass again. Oh! That one was almost intercepted and then almost caught.
Yeah. Yeah, Wildcats have like so many people in coverage. They have like 3 people standing there not doing anything. It's like nothing lazy. They just have so many more people in coverage than the Vikings have going out for reps to catch the ball.
But again, like you said, so if we look at this Vikings setup right here, 4 guys on the O-line, 2 guys on the D-line. They got 1 linebacker that's really close enough to make a run stop.
Yeah.
So the fact that they are not running the ball, kind of surprising to me, but
First down there by the Vikings. A good play there. They've tried plays similar to that a couple times. This one had the best blocking, so that's why it was able to work. They had a good blocker on the end. Number 7 was able to make a good play. So Spencer Pickering.
Yep. So number 7 is Seth Spencer's number 2. Number 7.
number
Let me
2,
check
okay.
real quick on that. So number 7 for the Vikings is Carson Wells.
Okay.
And he's had a couple receptions today, so
Yeah.
favorite target so far for the Vikings quarterback.
At a false start. I didn't see what happened, but
I think it might have been.
it's a false start.
Yep, looks like they're going to back him up 5.
There's been a lot of flags so far. Mostly all false starts or neutral infractions.
Yep. Yeah, but if you were paying attention to what that play was supposed to be, a little bit of an inside trap or inside draw type of run, and that D end was flying to the outside, so there was nobody in there to pick that up, and he would have picked up 8 or 9 on that one. See if they come back to that again.
Yeah, the Vikings play seems pretty well designed. They just have some sloppy plays like this. If they clean that up, they could definitely put up a few scores for them. They're kind of hurrying themselves right now. The Wildcats right now, but I think they'll figure it out.
So number 88, their second DN for the Wildcats, Joshua. I don't want to butcher the last name, but I think it's Duenas. He played defensive end in high school. I think all league or all state for that position back home. He's an athlete. He can make some plays.
Yeah.
And then on that backside, like we talked about with Connor. So they do have some good guys out there at that DN spot. For the Vikings, a kid named Blue. I think he threw for the Navy. But
Big guy,
pretty
tall
big,
guy.
solid dude. Yeah. And then
He was looking to be an assistant coach around the league, but then the Vikings were like, "You need to come play for us." And so he agreed to play for him, and I think he'll be solid for
yeah,
him.
so he's playing guard for them.
Yep.
Another couple of big dudes right inside. So I really want to see them try to run the ball a little bit more here, especially in the second half.
Yeah. That last play was a run, just for second down.
Oh, what a pass! And what a catch. Carson Hart down the sideline. That brings first down inside the 20 for the Vikings. Big play.
You got Jake T on the
I didn't see the number.
number 8. That's their QB, right?
So for the Wildcats, number 1's their quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah, so number 8 on the coverage there looked like Benjamin Reynolds. He was in a good position.
Spot,
He just find the ball. That was
Yeah.
the only issue there.
and it was a perfectly placed pass.
Looking inside, he's got him on a curve. Nope.
I like that play though. That was open there. The timing was just a little bit off there, but that's open.
They got a little
That's
bit more.
space.
They've got a little bit more confidence throwing the ball around here. You can tell.
Yeah. They haven't really gotten any pass like in the middle, I feel like.
It's been all like to the outside. That deep roll was to the outside. Like here, this part of the field, like the safeties are spread out wide. If they get a good crossing, someone makes a good move, they can score.
Little draw play. He's got one to
Yeah.
the outside.
Picked up 3 or 4 yards, maybe 5.
Yeah, it looked like they marked a little bit even closer than that. That was
yeah.
about 9 on that carry. So 3rd and 1. Good
saw
spot
that
to be
one.
here. Joshua Duenas down on the play. Check him out.
Yeah, if I'm the Vikings, I just get the easy first, then you have 4 plays to pass it in or do whatever you want to score. They just gotta get this first down real quick.
I apologize in advance for all the momentary camera mishaps. Definitely first time for us doing this, so we get a little distracted, but hopefully we can fix that for you guys for the rest of the day.
It's the wind.
We got quite a turnout today, honestly. I was surprised. Week 1 last year, I don't think we had very many fans. We got, how would you say, 200 people here in the fans, in the
Good
stands
amount
right
there.
now?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that number 88 who was injured, he was able to walk off the field, so that's always a good sign. Hopefully he'll be back in later today. He's still over there just getting a drink, and yeah, hopefully he can come back in. He's a solid athlete. Okay, 3rd and 1. I know I'd be calling a run up the middle, but there's a lot they could do here, especially since if they miss it here, they're obviously going to go for it again on 4th, so maybe it's smart to try to pass for the touchdown and then just get the next play, if you don't get the touchdown here.
Yeah, I mean, and the Wildcats are still in a too high safety. Looks like their safety might be picking up a little bit here, but too high safety, 2-man front. They're really not in a run defense.
No. That's where the linebackers really have to play up. And they
But
did.
They can't get a block, and they're stuffed for a loss.
The thing with the 2-man front is it's a little more unconventional, so a lot of teams aren't prepared for it with understanding who to block in those situations. So there's an advantage there.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially week 1 here. None of us have seen them yet, so maybe Vikings didn't prepare specific for a 2-man front.
But yeah, like you said, territory here, so see if they have some kind of in their back pocket.
I think
4th
probably
down.
just another screen to the receiver out wide. Some pass like that and just let an athlete break a tackle. That's a prediction.
Carson Hart in the slot up to the top of your screen. Carson Wells down on the bottom of the screen, number 7. They got guys open. Oh, interception.
Yeah, the Wildcats had good pressure there, so the quarterback was backpedaling, wasn't able to get his feet set on the throw. If he had good protection there, I think he could have made a good throw and possibly scored there. So Wildcats at the 20-yard line, right, not the 25.
Should be the 20.
So 2 drives where they went inside the 10-yard line and didn't score. That's killer.
Yeah.
Like that tells you they're getting good yardage. They're doing some good things. They're just not finishing, but good for the Vikings. It's only 2nd quarter. They're only down by 1 score.
Yeah, so that's going to be the key here to end out this drive. So we've got 4 minutes and 10 seconds, or to end out this half, sorry. 4 minutes and 10 seconds left. As we mentioned earlier, with this type of offense for the Wildcats, they're not a move down the field very quick kind of team. So it's going to be interesting to see if they'll switch anything up right before the half.
I definitely wouldn't here because in this situation, they get ball first in the 2nd half. So if they could stop the Vikings from even scoring or even really getting the ball this half, oh, he definitely stepped out there. So yeah, Wildcats could get a twofer here, go up 3 scores if they play it right.
So out of bounds.
And that's that Joshua Dwayne
yeah.
who was hurt, so he's back.
Oh, we got a
penalty.
penalty.
I didn't even see the flag.
Me neither.
Dirty laundry is what we call it. I don't know why they call it that.
So they'll start first down from the 10.
1st and 20.
So as Logan mentioned, wouldn't be surprised to see them kind of play it safe here, try to run out this half, go to the locker room with the lead. They do get the ball in the 2nd half. Vikings, they can't let them score here. You do not want to go into the locker room down 2 scores.
Yeah, because that feeling will stick with you through halftime. And it's not a good feeling. So not surprised there, just to run up the middle, try to get a few yards, but it looks like they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. They got a yard out of it. So 2nd and 19. So I think it'll be another run here, and then they'll probably pass it on 3rd down. Yeah, Vikings defense doing that 5-man front. But they have all those people inside, so if the Wildcats are able to get a good play on the outside, like they did the first play,
Yeah, some sort
like
of
that's where
reverse
they
or
should be
counter or
going.
something.
The
but
Vikings have all the people in the middle, and they did that. It just got called back because of the holding.
to number 18 on the carry there. Parker starting. So 3 running backs in the backfield. Like you said, it's hard to tell who's getting the ball. I wouldn't be surprised 3rd and long. They're going to try to play it safe, run out some clock. But some sort of counter, some sort of misdirection here to try to get, like you said, get the ball to the outside.
Yeah, and there's about 2:35 left to go in the half. So they could run it down to about 1.5 minutes left.
He's got a guy open across the middle.
Wide open.
Oh my goodness, that was going places there if he catches that.
That was a touchdown, depending on how fast he is.
He probably just missed the end of that. Hopefully you caught it right on camera, but 83 coming across the middle. Nobody picked him up, and he was going places if he comes down with that catch.
Vikings got lucky there because Wildcats are going to have to punt now. And so Vikings will have one last chance to score.
I mean, but that's the kind of thing that happens when you have a team that's so committed to the run game.
That's
you
true.
get wide open guys like that.
And that's also the thing that happens, more likely to drop it because you're not practicing the pass as much. So a short punt there. Vikings will have the ball with 2 minutes and 9 seconds left. Not a whole lot of time, but they have the ball in good field position. 43-yard line.
Shout out to my pops. He's tuning in right now. Listen to me kickstart my broadcasting career.
Hi, Mike is dad.
So 2:09. I want to say the Vikings have all 3 timeouts, but I could be wrong. I don't think they've used very many.
It says 3 on the scoreboard, which often people forget that on the scoreboard. So, yeah, I think they have. Both teams have all 3 timeouts.
So plenty of time.
Yeah.
Short yard right here, starting from their own 42. They got plenty of time to go down and score.
Yeah, time isn't the issue.
They really need to put something together here. Big momentum boost going into the half if they can tie it up. Steps up in the pocket. He's getting away. He's got a guy down the sideline. Can he get the ball to him?
He's
No.
already past the line of scrimmage, though.
See if they'll call it.
Yeah.
That was a close one.
That's a catch. I think he was past the line of scrimmage, close enough. There was a no call.
Looks like the ref is signaling that it was good.
Yeah.
What a play to get out of the pocket there by that quarterback.
Good play. Again, I would have thrown the flag, but hey, good play. Good athletic play. Good instincts there. The guy was wide open there. So now there's a minute 51 left. Yeah, like you were saying, time isn't the issue here.
Looks like there might be a timeout by the Vikings. They want to get something good here. I mean, we talked about it already. 2 drives that died inside their own 20. So they don't want that to happen again. If they got to use all their timeouts to get something going here, I would. I mean, going into the second half, Wildcats aren't going to have much time to answer back.
Yeah, this is a big drive here. Very important drive.
Looks like we got 30,000 viewers online right now, so quite the
Sweet.
popular event.
What do you think they're going to do next on offense?
Yeah.
More of the same?
I mean, I think like we talked about earlier, that 2-man front's not going to stop the run game if they can have gap sound blocking assignments. You got 2 timeouts left. You got first down from 10. Start off with the run here. Get
Yeah, they got
yourself in a
enough time to run.
situation.
You're
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Normally think less than 2 minutes ago, got a pass, but not this close to the end zone. They can run a couple times. That's what I would probably do, is just a draw. Let the linebackers drop back into coverage and then hand it off. Get them easy 4 or 5 yards.
But really the question is, what do you trust more, your run game or your pass? I just don't think that I just don't think with those 2 high safeties, with how many guys are committing to pass coverage, that you wanna set your 4 passing attempts right here in the red zone.
Yeah, makes sense.
you guys here. So we're on the left hash. We got trips to the right with that tight end. They'll snap it. They got a guy going to the corner. He's rolling out. He's got a man. 2 feet in. I think he got it. Touchdown. That's a catch on the sideline by Carson Wells. And he will put the Vikings on the board. 6-8 here. 1:36 left in the first half. Expecting a 2-point conversion attempt here to try to tie up the game for the Vikings. I apologize if the camera's shaking a little bit. It's pretty windy up here. Hopefully the quality's good so far. They motion a guy out to the left, to the right. And they find a guy in space there for the 2-point conversion. So we are 8-8 here. 1:36 left. Good football so far here in week 1.
Well, that was a big drive. And with the Wildcats, how they like to do it, just run almost every play, I doubt they're even going to try to score here. With only 1:36 left.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody's curious about. Does this Wildcats team, I mean, week 1, you want to find what you're good at and you want to stick to it. Do they have something in their playbook for more of a 2-minute situation where they can throw the ball around, or is this what we're going to get from them?
Yeah.
Wing tee the whole day.
The Vikings, that was a very good drive. Again, their offense, they have some good athletes. If they could just, quit making those mistakes, like the bad snap there earlier, stuff like that, if they clean that up, they'll be a tough team to stop, I think. And I'm not sure what's going on here.
So the ref's signaling for you have to be inside of that line, that yard marker for the kickoff. So they had a couple guys a little bit too far back.
Remember the refs in the game I played in once getting an argument over that. They were like super heated. One was like, no, you have to be behind him. So they were like yelling at each other. It was kind of funny.
So they'll sweep that one down to the 35-yard line. Wildcats will take over.
And no time went off there. So if they have even a few passing plays that works in this situation, they have enough time, 3 timeouts, a minute and a half. They're starting at the 35-yard line. They have time.
We'll see how the Vikings decide to play this too, with a couple timeouts themselves. If they get a stop on first down, lost the yards or something, are they going to take timeouts and try to get the ball back? Have one more shot for a score before half, or play a little more conservative?
I would call a couple timeouts after probably 2 incomplete passes here, if they're even passing, which
looks like they'll run it in the middle.
No timeout by the Wildcats. They're just taking their time still, so it looks like they're content to go into halftime with a tied ball game. It's been a good game so far. Been a fun one to watch.
Yeah, I'm just hoping to see a little bit more scoring in the second half, but that's because I'm biased to offense. But so far so good. Definitely not super sloppy. A few mistakes on both sides, but I think they've been well disciplined.
Good for the tackle. Got a timeout by which team? Okay, so interesting. So it looks like they are going to try to score. They're still in 3rd and long. They didn't put themselves in the best position there.
Yeah, this is an interesting call for a timeout here, just because you run a pass or run the ball, whatever they decide to do here on third down, and don't pick up that first down, then Vikings got 2 timeouts. They can call timeout and get a chance to get the ball back.
Yeah, so if Wildcats don't pick up the first, they essentially just save time for the Vikings with that timeout, which they may not be too concerned with less than a minute to go. They're figuring out how our defense can hold them. Maybe that's what they're thinking. But if I'm Vikings, I'm like, hey, one stop and we could go to the halftime with the lead. You know, especially they like to throw deep. They've had a couple of good deep balls so far. And the punting average has been 20 to 25 yards there. So if they stop it here, they'll probably get the ball back at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, plus I think at least the couple of these punts have been pretty close to being blocked for the Wildcats. So I'd be a little bit nervous about that happening again. But Josh Duenas out to the side. He'll be stopped short.
Went out of bounds though.
So they'll bring up 4th down and a yard. Doesn't look like the Vikings are going to take a timeout. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Wildcats just.
Well, shouldn't the clock stop? Because then you land out of bounds.
It was pretty close. I'm not sure. But the Wildcats take a timeout here on 4th down. Interesting call.
Yeah. And I feel like they're really saving time for the Vikings at this point, but that's just my philosophy. They probably have a specific play in mind here that they are confident in. So they miss it, but Vikings have a good shot of getting a score here. They would have 30 seconds left or so with 2 timeouts. So if you were the Vikings, would you stick with the 5-man front this play?
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably just going to run up the middle, and then they would probably call a quick timeout or have a second play planned and do some no huddle and just throw deep.
Yeah, I would be surprised if the Wildcats did anything too crazy here. 4th down, you just want to try to get that yard and pick up the first down, but I'm also not their coach, so who knows?
Yeah. We don't know their playbook. I mean, not that it's anything super tricky.
So they'll try to pass here. They got pressure.
Ooh,
He's got time to throw, but he's going to run and he'll pick up the first down there.
Inbound, so clock's going to be running. But clock, in our league, the clock does stop for the chains to move.
And it looks like the Wildcats will take their final timeout here after picking up that first down.
Yeah, it would have been helpful if the QB could have gotten out of bounds there, but he was just trying to get as many yards as he could. It was a good run.
So as Logan was mentioning earlier, the 5-man front adjustment by the Vikings, I think that's been the main thing for this first half to help them slow down that Wildcats run game. We saw that first drive, them march 95 yards downfield, not really a ton of resistance. And then that second drive, they came out with that 5-man front, and the Wildcats have struggled to move the ball since then. So really, I mean, football, everybody knows it's a game of adjustments. What I'm wondering is, what are the Wildcats going to do to adjust? Are they going to come out with that same game plan, or are they going to have a little bit of a wrinkle counter to fix their game plan here in the second?
Yeah, they haven't really made any adjustments far, which you don't necessarily always have to, especially when you're running. It's like, hey, you know what's happening, but we're just going to block and get yardage anyways. But that's where adjustments may be even just changing blocking schemes and just doing some different counters to throw them off. If you're a run first team, it's good to save some runs for the second half. So that way you haven't shown the other team everything in the first half.
Yeah, exactly. And I expect them to have a couple of tricks up their sleeve here in the second half. So same question for the Vikings, I guess. What would you say would be the main thing for them to adjust for their offense going into that second half?
For their offense, I don't know if they have any other formations. I think they just used the one so far, which I think will work. I think it's trying to make sure you establish the run game a little bit. I think that'll be the main thing. Establish that run game. I think that's open. I think you could make the passing plays even more effective off of that. I think that should be their emphasis, which really isn't an adjustment other than just calling some more run plays.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, this will probably be the final play of the half. Clock's under 10 seconds. The clock is weird. It's going down like 3-4 seconds at a time.
Like that one stepping back here. And
So that's the half.
should be the end of it. All right, so we have a 14-minute halftime. I'm not sure if that counts the 3 minutes of warm-up that they give teams after they get out on the field or not, but we should be back here in about at least 15 to 20 minutes or so. Thanks for tuning in so far. Hopefully it's been a good first half. All right, we're back for the second half.
Now Wildcats are going to get the ball first. Getting pretty windy right now, which does make it a little bit harder to throw the ball. The wind's not too crazy though yet.
Pooch kick. You gotta get on it. You gotta get on it. I don't know what they're doing, but they fall on it. Was that number 8? Standing in front of it.
Good thing they remembered.
Yeah, a couple of guys must not have remembered the rule. You still gotta fall on it, even though we don't return kicks in this league. It is a live ball. Yep.
Yeah.
A little bit of a heart stopper there, I'm sure, for their head coach, but they got it on the ball. So first down and 10 from the 31 for the Wildcats.
So you think just more of the same here, just running the ball?
Yeah, I mean, especially to start out this second half, I'm sure they're going to want to see if they can do what their game plan is, which is run the ball and ground and pound for sure. A little bit of a sweep to the right.
Ooh,
nowhere to go.
Very good tackle, good angle, good wrap up, good everything on the tackle there. And that's where some of their handoffs and their snaps, they've just been a little bit off there. Like we had to kind of slow down to get the ball from the QB. If they could just clean that up, then you probably would have been able to get the edge there, get some good yards.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the Wildcats are having a tough time just looking fluid on their holes and on their handoffs, like you said. But week 1, that's kind of to be expected.
There, the QB ran into the running back, so another mistake. So 2 good plays here. This will be what, 3rd and 20?
Yeah.
Something like that.
And that's the danger about, kind of being one-dimensional. If these guys cannot do what they're trying to do with this run game, it's going to get ugly quick. This Vikings team is starting to figure it out. That adjustment to the 5-man front has been working for them. Their pursuit's great by the backers, and they're getting pretty comfortable here at the start of the second half.
And they still ran it. Interesting choice there. Maybe he figured, hey, we're going to punt it anyways, at least get a few yards out of it. But now it's 4th and 20, so they're definitely going to have to punt.
Good start to the second half here for the Vikings. That's what you want to see from your defense. Great statement drive. Go in there and punish them. I think all 3 of those plays were tackles for loss there. They get the punt off. Good punt
Best
there.
punt
See
so
if he can
far.
field it, and they get down on it at about the 40.
You can't return it, but if he drops it, if he muffs the punt, the other team can't get it. But he did muff it, but he recovered, so Vikings ball. And I think they'll come out firing, mixing in some runs still, but I think they'll be coming out pretty aggressive.
And they battled back from some adversity in that first half with 2 drives ending just short of the end zone, and they were able to regain some momentum. They got the ball here, tie game, 3rd quarter. This is the spot you want to be in for the Vikings, considering how the game started. Low snap, got some pressure. Fumble, wow, the ball is out.
Yeah, I think that's a pass, but we'll see what they call it. Looked like his arm was going forward. If they had a good block in there, they had a guy wide open on the sideline. They would have easily gotten the first.
Looks like they're calling it Wildcats ball, so the ref must have seen it pop out before the arm came forward. So they will start with the ball on the 35-yard line. Coming to the score, what a swing of momentum there for the Wildcats.
90 yards every time. because then the defense just needs one stop and it stops their drive.
Yeah,
Here
the
they
last
always-
drive, 3 plays in a row were tackles for loss
Yeah.
to see if they can fix that this drive.
Yeah,
Play
that's
action.
smart play action.
Oh, he's got some room. He's got a guy open, but nothing. Yeah.
Good job to get the ball off first. Otherwise, that would have been second and like 25. But he looks a little banged up. Well, she's recovering from an injury. I think of his hand. He's limping a little bit right now. But
So that was
he's a tough guy.
number 80 on the pressure there, Lionel. That's the second time that he's been able to set the edge there, keep the running back or the quarterback from getting outside. I mean, there was a lot of space there. If JT has some time, he's completing a pass or running for a few yards. So good job by that outside backer there to keep him contained.
And I noticed their pass there, they only had one receiver going out for the route, I guess to try to just help sell the fake a little more. That number 80, you said, what was his name?
Lionel.
Lionel.
Short gain there on second down. We'll bring up third down and 6.
Another couple of plays like that. We'll have first.
Yeah, I mean, and you know at this part of the field, they already know it's 4 down territory, so they won't be afraid to run it up the middle and pick up a few yards on this play. But man, that blocking on the inside is just not there for this Spartans O-line. I'm not sure what's going on there, but he's able to shoot the gap there, number 36.
I think it's because they're not even hesitating. They're not real worried about the passing right now, so they're just firing out right away. They're not even hesitating to go get the running back. And their Vikings are looking really good at defense right now, looking very fired up, sideline and everything. Just again, the turnovers.
Yep.
They threw one pick in the first half, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Now a turnover here. Had the turnover on downs at the 1 yard line earlier.
Oh, they give him the jump. You knew that was coming, but
That's happened a few times.
Unfortunately for the Vikings, it won't be a first down. It should be about 4th down and 2.
Yeah.
But that's a great spot for the Wildcats to be at. They feel confident they can pick up 2 yards here on 4th down, I'm sure.
Yeah, again, Vikings losing the turnover battle and the penalties. They've had quite a few penalties. Those are the 2 key things holding them back. Other than that, on offense, they've marched up and down the field. Oh, yeah.
Hold there, though, so he's able to
First
pick
down.
up first down.
Who is that? That's 83, I think.
We've got our former
23.
coordinator, Jason Harderburn, here visiting us. Doesn't look like he wants to make a comment, though. He's walking away.
At number 23, what's his one who just carried the ball?
I want to say it's Land. I forget the. Oh no, that's 25. 23. I'm not sure who he is.
Oh, that's Chase.
Oh, Chase. Okay.
He was the coach of the
Cool.
Wolverines last year, and he's getting the ball.
He's had some good
Okay.
carries so far. That's
Yeah, I didn't
cool.
know he was going to be a running back. I know receiver was his main thing before. He just carried the ball again. Michael was his actual first name.
That is my one concern with this this type of run game, with just all those bodies inside and those 3 running backs. It can get pretty congested pretty easy. If you saw that last play, number 25 just ran right into the back of his O-lineman. So yeah, sure, if you can really beat a team with your size, that's awesome. But right now, I'm just seeing a lot of congestion right inside.
Yeah, so the spacing between the linemen is very small. So if the linemen don't get a good first step, it's hard to really make any room for the running back up the middle. They are very close together. Play action, well-designed
Got a guy
play.
open on the backside. Nothing there.
Yeah, decent coverage all around.
That was the problem I'm seeing with these play actions too, is the Vikings Vikings are doing a great job at containing. So while yes, the play action, it's effective, it gets linebackers to bite. They're committed to keeping guys away from that outside, and so he comes around to the edge. Time.
Yeah, that's where that and front against the pass can work as long as the defensive ends contain. Because their quarterback, he prefers to roll out and throw on the run. He's not going to just step back and pass in the pocket. So if you can put him under pressure on the rollout, then that's a huge advantage. And was that a design QB sneak?
I don't think
probably
it
not.
was. It kind of looked a little funky the way he got the snap.
Yeah.
So probably some sort of error there. Needless to say, it's a turnover on downs, so Vikings will take over 8-8 here in the third quarter, 6-5 on the clock.
Yeah, they turned the ball over, first play last time?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, again, their offense has been good when they just haven't had those little mistakes. If they have a nice clean drive here, I think they can score. Wildcats still that two-man front. I don't think anything's changed in the secondary. Looks like they're sticking with their base defense.
Short pass out to the top to Carson Wells. He'll pick up a couple.
Yeah, it looks like the pass just got out there a little slowly. They got there just even a half second sooner. He could have got a couple more yards, but good 2-yard gain. Second and 8.
Yeah, aside from that, that one pass deep down the sideline to Carson. Sorry, to Carson right at the end of the first quarter. I don't think they've had very downfield. It's been mostly that short passing game.
Yeah. And the Wildcats, they've played it well. Their linebackers are tackling well.
Oh! Almost intercepted there. What a play by number 83. Get his head around and get a hand on the ball. There was a guy open right in that hole, but he's able to get stopped.
I believe that's Sean Erickson, number 83.
I'm not sure.
No, incorrect. Sean Erickson is number 50. Number 83 is Carter Bentdorf.
Okay.
If that's how you say it.
I'm not sure what's going on with that center quarterback exchange, but if you can watch the snap every play, it's a little bit off. You can just tell there's some sort of a low. See on that one, a little low, and that messes up timing for a quarterback.
See, that's a play that works if the receiver can break one tackle. He's still got a few yards, and I think they'll probably go 4 and 4 here. But again, good tackling by the Wildcats. They haven't missed many tackles.
Yeah, they've been great at tackling so far today. I've been impressed.
Like there, they missed one tackle, boom, that's a first down. That number 10 who caught the ball, he's very quick.
So 4th down and short. See if they'll try to get them to draw sides here.
I picture them just raw here. It's been all pass, so it'd be a good time where maybe they're not predicting the run. It looks like they're linebacker laying up. So even though they have the two-man front, the linebackers have been blitzing almost every play.
Got to swing to the outside. Taking a shot to Carson Wells. Intercepted.
Yeah,
There's a flag.
Pass interference, which I think was a good call.
He did have some of his jersey holding him a little bit there. So it looks like this will remain Vikings ball, but we will wait and see. Yep, looks like pass interference on the defense.
There's some boos.
Number 80's just got it on that play right there. He was in a good spot. He was covering him well. The problem is he didn't turn and look for the ball. If he's turning and look for the ball, he's fine. He doesn't have any reason to hold there.
Yeah. Which the pass was short, so he could have just got his hands up, made sure not to make any contact, just to make sure there's no penalty.
But the Vikings really got bailed out there. 4th down on their own side of the field. A turnover there would have been
a big play, yeah.
For sure.
Another short snap, but the QB got it. Good play.
Picks up a few there.
And at number 10, he's shifty with the ball.
Yeah, they got a lot of good skill guys outside. They just haven't been able to get the ball into the hands of their playmakers as much as they wanted to. But here in the second half, number 10's already had a few receptions. Number 7 has a few as well. So been able to distribute it a little bit better here in the second half.
Have the Vikings ran the ball this half at all?
I don't believe so. But a little bit of a tighter formation.
Yeah,
Yep.
they do.
Cut back by number 12.
Yeah, good move there. That number 25 was waiting there on the tackle, but solid cutback.
So that looks like that was Lorenzo Perks there on the carry, number 12.
Lorenzo Perks.
Had a little bit of a shifty move there to make the man miss.
Which this, again, is where conditioning comes into play. Wildcats have been tackling well, but if they start getting tired, they could easily miss a couple tackles, and Vikings do have some good athletes. So they could pay if they start breaking tackles.
Screen to Carson. Doesn't really have anywhere to go. I think at least able to get a yard or two there for sure.
These screens, they're open, they're just a little slow developing. So Wildcats are reading it well, but like you said, good move there. He's able to get 3 yards. All right, what would you be calling here?
Looks like they're bringing a little bit more guys in the box. So those screen plays have been working. I mean, you can see.
Running back's wide
Yeah. He missed him. He should have hit him right away. But you can see those outside backers are dropping 10, 15 yards. They're making them beat him deep. Or they're making them attack short. They're taking away the deep shot. So if we're the if you're the Vikings, you got to just take advantage of that, right? Get the ball out quick. Get the ball in your ball carrier's hand and let him work.
Was this third down?
Yep, third and about 6. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say that we do overtime in this league?
Yeah, it's like they're saying it's like how they do it in college. I think pretty much the same.
Okay. Yeah, and that's what we mentioned earlier. I mean, run game's open. If you look at that defense, they're committed to stopping the pass. They know the Vikings like to throw, so that run game's open. The Vikings just got to take advantage of it. 4th down is short here. We'll see what they do.
They pass, so a key moment like here, that's their identity, at least this game, and probably will be throughout the season, so they will probably pass. But again, it's only 2 yards, so.
Low snap, but they're able to get the ball carrier's able to get to the outside. He's short. Oh, that's a horse call. They're going to get the first there on that penalty.
Yeah, so it looks like someone's down on the field hurt. Okay, he's getting back up.
That was 25, so one of their running backs definitely don't want to, but he gets back up.
Yeah, 2 refs throwing the flag there. Okay. Internet looked like it went out for a second. That was just a good swing pass to number 10. And now they're at the 3-yard line. Made a good move, made a first miss. Wildcats definitely started to miss some tackles, so I think the Vikings are wearing down a little bit. Like that horse collar, if he got a little lower, it wouldn't have been a penalty.
Yeah, and the Vikings I think they found something with that screen game. Like we mentioned earlier, the Wildcats are pretty committed to keeping everything in front of them. They're playing a pretty deep drop on those zones. So getting the ball out quick, getting it to the flats has been working. Spencer Pickering pushing his way forward for a touchdown. So that is big here
could see him just doing a screen pass again to 10 here. But looks like they have an extra person there blocking, so probably a run up the middle. Yeah, they're lining up for the run, and I think he's short. Yeah, no good.
So that's Wildcats. That gives them an opportunity to score. The worst case, it'll be a tie game.
So again, probably more of the same
With
from the
that
Wildcats.
Vikings touchdown, we want to welcome you to the first competitive football BYU game of the spring season. The Vikings versus the Wild. We got a score of 14-8 Vikings. Yes, let's hear it for both the teams and me.
A little late, but
The Vikings will kick off from the 4th.
Yeah, we got a PA announcer now, so fans are excited about that. Somebody called plays for them, but we're here in the third quarter, 1:51 on the clock, 14-8. Vikings up. They'll kick off to the Wildcats.
if they do just another pooch kick again, I think that's what both teams have done in all their kicks. Looks like they try to kick it deeper here.
Oh, it's bouncing back. They might get that.
Oh, why didn't they?
Why
grab it?
did they not jump on that?
Holy
It went out of
cow.
bounds, but I think the Vikings had a chance to jump
Looks
on.
like
I'm not
the
sure
kick has
what
gone
they
out
were
of
thinking there.
Did they have you forgotten you could do onside kicks here? They were there.
So I believe it'll be Wildcats ball. It looked like the flag was thrown, saying that it went out of bounds before anyone recovered it.
The Vikings were there. They could have dove or
So my question for you, Logan, obviously they want to stick with what they're good at. They want to stick with what they know. But at what point do you start to try to mix it up a little bit if you're the Wildcats? After going down scores, or when are you starting to try new
We had a
things?
kick infraction.
Are you sticking with your wing tee?
The Wildcats
I
will
mean, I
take
don't know if they
over
know any other
at the
formations.
35.
I think that's all they've really learned. But I think here, stick with what you're best at. Get a couple good runs, then you can try play action. But right now, they're a run first team. So when it's crunch time, that's what I'm predicting right now.
Yeah, and the issue that I keep seeing is that congestion that we talked about in the backfield. It looks like guys are just not sure their assignments. One of the running backs went to the right, one of them went to the left. They ran into each other. So not sure what's going on, but they got to figure something out there because that is not working for them right now.
They haven't had any answer from the Vikings 5-man front so far. That was a good adjustment by Vikings, like I said, close the game with adjustments. So now you got to see the counter adjustments by the Wildcats. It's interesting to me that probably 90% of their runs have been up the middle. Only a couple were really outside. One of them went for a big gain, but there was a holding call back.
So Chase on the carry there. He'll pick up a few.
That was a good play.
And that's really been their best run. I think just having that third running back far to the left or the third one far to the right, be the ball carrier, give them two lead blockers.
Yeah.
Run the Wildcat.
When they start to try to be tricky and do that counter and stuff, it just hasn't looked smooth and it's been a little bit congested. Obviously, though, you can't do the same play every time, right? You got to mix it up.
And that's a play that's good on first down. On second and long, helps a little bit, but it's not as good there to get just 3 yards. Better than nothing, though. Gives you a little bit of confidence.
Oh, see, again, something going on there with the polling, with the snaps. I'm not sure. This is week 1, so you expect a little bit of that, but ball's on the ground, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So here comes the punt with less than 30 seconds to
Recovered
go
by
in
the
the third quarter.
Wildcats. 4th and 11.
In week 1, obviously, you're really just looking to see, hey, can we do what we want to do? Can we see some positives, right? So for both teams so far, there have been a lot of positives. There's some stuff to fix for sure, but both teams have had some success doing what they do. Both teams have had some success on defense. It's going to come down the rest of this game to who can really keep it going, who can keep their team motivated, who can keep the momentum on their side.
Is the end of the
here
third
as we
quarter.
start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, this next drive is going to be huge.
Okay.
Vikings going to score here.
Who's here for the Vikings? Let's hear some noise. And who's here for the Wildcats? I gotta say the Wildcats won that one. Let's hear it one more time for the Vikings. And the Wildcats. And the Wildcats have won again.
Should do that. I can do it for Spartans. Well, one positive for Wildcats, the punting has gotten better.
Yeah.
That punt was true.
Yeah, I mean,
40
in
yards.
a field position flip like that, where you've been seeing some positive things on defense, you've gotten some stops. Vikings starting on their 22-yard line. If they're able to get a 3 and out here, or potentially a turnover, you're putting yourself in a great spot.
Yeah. That's where even if you don't score in a drive, if you're able to get a few first downs, it makes a huge difference.
Obviously, with the start of the fourth quarter, running out of time a little bit, so you want to really start pulling out anything left in the bag for week 1 at least, as far as trick plays go, as far as other formations. The Vikings looking to really put this game away if they can, take a long drive down the field and score. That'd be putting them in a good spot for sure.
Yeah, if I'm the Vikings, I'm not too worried about the clock though right now. I'm just scoring fast, slow, whatever. Just gotta get one more score.
So 1 yard run by the Vikings.
Haven't really seen a trick play from either of these teams so far. So I'm curious if week 1, if that's something they're willing to bring out, or if they're something they're saving for later in the season.
I haven't had a whole lot of time to add trick plays yet.
For sure.
Practices started last week.
Yeah, that's another thing to mention. Definitely, this is a pretty short season. A lot of dudes that haven't played football in a lot of years, right? So putting in an offense with a lot of plays, not very feasible. So a lot of these teams, 2 weeks in, they've just got the bare minimum. They got a formation, a few plays here and there, and they're just trying to get good at that.
Yeah, and both teams, it's like they haven't had too much variety with their offense. Vikings have at least mixed it up a little more, but still, like probably over half their passes have been that screen. And they've had some good plays with that.
Yeah, and this is kind of where, as a Wildcat defender or the Wildcat coach, I'm calling something that allows the outside backer, or allows the corner to be a little bit more aggressive in those flats. I know they're trying to play a little bit more conservative on defense, but at some point you got to jump that. You can't just let them take those short passes all game.
Yeah, exactly. They got to go for it here. It's fourth quarter. It looks like another horse collar
We
by
have
the
a flag on
Wildcats.
the field.
Refs are discussing it. The ref that was closest didn't throw the flag. The ref in the backfield, which I think is the umpire, he did. throw the
Personally, I mean, I don't have the greatest angle here, but personally, I don't think that was a horse collar, in my opinion. I think he had his hand was a little bit below that
Just
the
high
collar.
tackle, I mean.
Yeah. But they're going to call horse collar, so that'll move
We have
the
a
Vikings
personal
up
foul.
15 yards.
Horse collar against the Wildcats. Automatic first.
And Sterling, coach of the Wildcats, is rocking the Pit Vipers today, like he normally does in the back of his cap.
The mullet looking good over there on the sideline for sure. And then we got Bob Torres for the Vikings in the blue, big old beard, looking like a champ out there.
Yeah.
So 2 coaches that have a lot of experience coaching high school football, or at least some experience, a few years for each of them. Sterling recently coached for a state championship team in Minnesota, and Bob as well over in Sugar City. So this is their opportunity to, both have state championships under their belts in their career. Both of them kind of looking to have an opportunity to start putting their own spin on their coaching philosophy here as head coaches for the intramural teams.
That was a good play there, good stiff arm at the end, which helped them gain an extra yard or two at the end at least. Looked like it could have been a holding maybe. The Vikings, but they didn't call it.
Bad snap.
He got it. I think Vikings recover.
Yeah.
High goes to the offense. So. You hear groans and disappointment by the Wildcats. That would have been a big one.
Third and
The Vikings are taking some time off the clock.
Third and long here, as we mentioned, they really haven't had success throwing the ball downfield. They've been trying to attack those outside short yardage passes. So if I'm the Wildcats, I'm committed to that. I'm jumping that outside route and I'm making them be deep.
This is where Vikings should do like a 2 count to try to draw them off sides. The Wildcats probably will be more aggressive. So it might be more open to draw them off sides here. What do you think if they throw an incomplete pass? You think they're cutting?
With the lead, yeah, I personally think so. If they throw it here, they'll come back.
Yeah, I would do it just because you have the lead and the Wildcats haven't scored since their first drive. So I'd be pretty confident the defense is going just a little high.
Yeah, it was there. It was a good read.
Yeah.
intended for number 7.
Yeah, even though it wasn't a ton of pressure, looked like the pressure affected him a little bit there on the throw.
So quarterback came off. Looks like he's probably looks like Bob's gonna call for a punt here. Well, he's running back out, so I'm not sure. They might be going for it here. I'm not sure who their punter is. Vikings will take a timeout to talk about this.
Yeah, probably just that's a good sign that they're going to go for it. They're trying to set up a play.
Yeah, I mean, I already commented on this personally. 4th down and 9. You've got the lead. I'm punting here, but being aggressive isn't the worst thing in the world. They're at the 50-yard line, so it's not like they're giving the Wildcats the ball right on the goal line if they turn it over here.
Yeah, because you got to think too, if they get the first down, that's a huge momentum. That's huge for momentum at this point. And if they give it up, that helps momentum a little bit for the Wildcats, but with how little the Wildcats have done on offense, like you can still be pretty confident.
Yeah, and I think that's the main thing that Bob and Carson are really saying here is that, hey, we feel like we've got them figured out. We feel like our defense is going to be able to hold them, so we're not worried about taking a shot here.
We want to remind you that next week at 6 o'clock, we have the Hawks versus the Spartans. And 8 o'clock,
Go Spartans!
the Wildcats versus the Wolverines. Bring your friends and family.
So you think just a deep throw here? Something to the outside?
Yeah, I mean, with that safety and those corners playing 10 yards back, hard to get anything across the middle there. It's hard to get anything deep. So if you look to the top of your screen, I could see something, an out route from number 10 up there.
Oh, bad snap.
So it looks like
Fumbled
it's gonna turn the ball
snap again.
to the Wildcats.
Well,
We have a turnover. First and 10.
snap, that's the main issue for the Vikings this game.
Yeah, it's just been a little high, a little low, a little slow. It can't find the perfect spots for that snap so far.
That's been like key plays too.
Yeah.
Like 4th and goal, very first play this half. 4th down here. The Vikings, I'm sure more of the same. Again, if I'm them, I do one play up the middle and then do some counter to the outside. get them to buy it on the middle. But the Vikings defensive ends have done a good job of competing.
Looks like he got the edge. No. Number 80 with another great play on the outside. He has been great at containing. They haven't been able to get anything out to the outside on that side. And with a 5-man front, you're not running up the middle very well either. So really this Vikings defense has just found the answer here in the second half for this Wildcats. Really since the first drive.
Yeah. Yeah, they changed to a 5-man front, I believe, on the second drive. It's been all of them ever since then.
Got some space. Tripped up though. That has been their best play, really, just that 3 running back power to the left or to the right.
3-yard run for the Wildcats.
That's been what they've been best at.
So I think it'll be a pass here. And yeah. We'll see how it goes.
Seven minutes and 23 seconds left to go in the game. So JT with the keep. That faked me out. He goes out of bounds. 4 down territory here, so not the end of the world. You might have liked to see him try to fight for that first down though. But it'll bring up 4th down and about 5.
5-yard run by the
For
quarterback.
the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was a good fake. That was like their smoothest play so far. Again, even their good plays has been like the handoffs have been just a little off. But that one, he just, yeah, it was good timing.
Yeah, JT did a really good job for sure. He almost kind of just tucked that ball in his belly and just kind of acted like the play was going the other way for a 2nd and 2 before he booted out, but it faked everybody out, including me. So
yeah, this is probably the most important play so far. This 4th down, maybe not, but it is important.
definitely here in this
Vikings
quarter
get it
for
here.
sure.
I don't know what's going on with the time. It was just showing less than 7 seconds. Now it's
Timeout.
7 minutes.
Wildcats.
Yeah, I guess just adjusting time for the timeout. The clock's been funky.
Still plenty of time in this game for either team to put up points on the board, but really as a Wildcat player and coach, I would want to see a touchdown on this drive. I'm going for it no matter what, really, and pulling out some sort of trick play if I need to.
It is perfect time for play action.
Really, yeah, it is. And they're perfectly capable of picking up 3 yards here on a run if they decide to do that, but we'll see what they choose to go with. Wouldn't be surprised if they go on 2 here as well.
Have they had any plays where running back to the it seems like for the most part there's always one that's running backs
going the other way. Yeah, so they've had a couple, and that's been their best run in my opinion, is when they have two lead blockers and they have that 3rd running back take the ball.
Because their offensive linemen haven't really been getting 2nd level, which is tough against the 5-man.
Yeah. He got some room.
Good run.
Takes up the 1st there. He got smacked a little bit. But yeah, he held on to that ball. He got looks like he wants a sub for sure.
What a run by the Wildcats.
But good way to pick up the 1st down. Their team needed that for sure. So good run by Chase. Hopefully he's okay.
Big play there.
And this is kind of what we talked about, right? With a team like this and, wearing a team down. They've got 3 guys that can carry the ball, and hopefully those guys are a little bit more fresh than this Vikings front 5. But if that's the case, I could see the Wildcats running out another 3 or 4 minutes on the clock and punching in the ball. They're able to do so.
Number 25 stopped for 1-yard loss.
And again, Vikings in
2nd and
blue
11.
with the lead 14-8. There's about 6 minutes to go in the game. So if Vikings don't get it here, the Wildcats don't get the score here, Vikings could just start running the clock a little bit, and you don't want to get too conservative. Wildcats just have a touchdown to tie, 2-point conversion, they get it.
Which, as an unbiased observer, I would like to see a score here, just because I want this game to go go to the wire to be close, see if the Vikings can have an answer. But
We have a 4-yard.
we'll see what can happen.
But there's a flag.
Looks like there's a guy down.
And
Blue.
the flag. Vikings player just tried to hand the ref the flag, and the ref just threw it back down. Bill Belichick and his players to give the game ball.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm assuming it might be a hold here just off of where the position was, right in the middle of that
Or
offensive
someone
line.
off sides, because like as soon as the snap started, he like threw it to the
Yeah.
flag. So either holding or something wrong with their formation. Bob, coach of the Vikings, calling the chop block.
Maybe that's what they call. That might have been the call,
so
chop
maybe they're
block.
discussing. I remember last year there was some confusion on the rule there in the league, so I'm not even 100% sure what the rule is. This year
Yeah.
for the chop block.
I know for high school you have to go down right away, right when the ball snapped, and you can't double, like there can't be a high low. So if they were double teaming, a guy was blocking him high and one guy went down low, that's a penalty. Or if it wasn't like, right when the snap occurred, if you're 3 or 4 seconds into the play and you chop, I believe that's a penalty as well. Don't quote me on that, I could be wrong, but that's my understanding.
Rules expert.
Yeah, we can call it. Hey, explain the play for us.
Who they could do play.
It seems like it's a
Zoom in
long
on the
discussion,
chop block.
so
Oh, it looks like it is. They're not waving the flag off. Looks like they are going to move a ball penalty. The Vikings coach discussing with the refs now.
I believe that's 15 yards if it is a chop block penalty, so
Which
that
big.
is huge.
Yeah, Wildcats the second half penalties have killed them on defense and not given offense.
And I just don't think that, with this being week 1, I don't think that the Wildcats have an alternate formation they can go to in a situation like this where you're second down and 25, right? You'd like to be able to see them to, come out in the gun or something, or they can throw the ball a little bit, but I just don't think that's in their playbook yet.
It looks like there was an illegal chop block against the Wildcats, along with an in. So we will have second and 26
yeah.
for the Wildcats.
And second and 26. That's not good.
So play action.
That same run to the outside. This time the Vikings were all over it. Another Viking player slow to get up. Doesn't look like he's hurt, but just late in the fourth quarter, they're starting to get tired for sure.
And the Wildcats just haven't shown that they can throw the ball down the field and complete passes. So this Vikings defense just getting more aggressive on that run. You play action to the right and that boot to the left.
Third
It
and
just
31.
doesn't work because everybody's keen in, right? Guys on the right side, they're watching for that.
Not to give them ideas, but that's where if they had that quarterback rolling out to the side there, then he just stops and throws it the other way. That would have been wide open there.
Yeah.
Instead of just a straight run. At least give him an option to throw it. And now, call 30,
Another stop.
30 or so. What is that?
40 and 30.
10, 20, 30. Yeah, that was like third and 32. And run up the middle. Now fourth down. It's late, but they're probably going to have to punt it and just get a quick 3 and out on defense.
Yeah, and they have timeouts, so
Yeah.
they will have an
timeouts each.
opportunity to get the ball back most likely, but they definitely need a 3 and out here. They definitely want to get the ball back as soon as possible. Oh, no! Off the bat of his
Vikings got it.
That Wildcats punt was blocked by their own team, down by the Vikings on the 39-yard line.
So that is
First and
not
10.
what you wanted to see there for the Wildcats. That puts the Vikings in great field position. They still only have a 6-point lead, so if the Wildcats are able to get a stop, they have an opportunity to score. I just have not seen anything from the Wildcats to tell me that they have plays in their playbook to move the ball down the field in a short amount of time. I'm hoping to see it, but we'll wait and see. Oh, knee was down, but great hit by number 10. Great hit. He comes flying from the secondary, the quarterback position.
5
Just
yard line.
lays the quarterback out. So second down and
Second
15.
and 15.
That's a great start. This Wildcats defense, they want to get the ball back as soon as possible. I'm expecting the Vikings to come out on a second and long, come out and try and throw it. Mostly because that's what they've been sticking to this game. They haven't moved very much. And I kind of think they're going to try and be aggressive here and close out the game, pick up a couple first downs. Looks like they were getting close to a delay game, so they'll take a timeout.
As the play clock was winding down, we have a timeout. Vikings, their second of the half. They have one remaining.
All right, so we're back from the timeout. Second and long. Vikings lining up in what they've used as a run formation so far this game. And they do again. They have a puller. They try to get something going in the run game, but good pressure there. Good penetration by number 44.
We have a
Connor
run
Wood.
by number 12 on the Vikings.
Somebody on the ground for the Wildcats. Looks like an injured player. Not sure what's going on there. Hopefully he's
Injury
okay.
timeout on the field.
But 2 plays in a row, good defense by that Wildcats team. They were able to get penetration, get that tackle for a loss, and now we're third and not sure where they marked it yet, but third and long. Apologize. We are at 5% battery, so might have to cut out here in a sec and re-live stream on a different tablet. But I'll try to keep it going for now. Stuff the backfield again. So 3 great defensive plays by the Wildcats. 3 minutes left on the clock. They bring up a 4th down and long. I would be surprised if the Vikings went for it here. Probably just going to try and punt it and pin them back in deep field position. Once we get a punt here, I'll cut out the live video and start a new one. Actually, I think I have a charger for this, so we're gonna move locations real quick. Hopefully before this video dies. So the ball down on the 1-yard line. Great punt by the Vikings. Wildcats will take over.
By the Vikings.
We move to another location.
Down on the 2-yard line. We have a run on 1st down. No gain. 2nd and
All right, had to move locations to get this thing charging. But 1st down was a run by the Wildcats, stopped for no gain. So we're back. It's 2nd and 10 on the 2-yard line. 1:31 left in this game. Not looking too great for the Wildcats. And they're still sticking with that tight formation. Able to pick up a couple yards. They got to get going here if they want a chance to win this ball game.
2-yard run by the Wildcats. 3rd and 8.
They're not taking timeout. They're not hurrying up. They're calling the plays from the sideline still. Just time ticking off the clock here. And now they use a timeout.
Timeout. Wildcats.
So if you are following any of these teams this season, next week the Wildcats will face the Wolverines and the Spartans will face the Hawks. Wildcats versus Wolverines, I believe, is the 8 o'clock game next week. The Vikings will have a bye. So tune into either of those games next week. Should be good matchups. Hoping that the Wildcats can have an opportunity to make some adjustments and be ready to go week 2 versus the Wolverines. They still have a shot to win this game here, but they gotta pull something out of their pocket. This is really do or die here on 3rd down. 1 timeout left, I believe, down on their own side of the field. Play action. They got a guy swinging out the backfield, nothing going there. Good coverage all around. Nobody was really open.
Incomplete pass. 4th and 8.
So 4th down, 96 yards to go to score. 55 seconds left on the clock. 1 timeout. The Vikings don't, or sorry, the Wildcats don't pick this up. Pretty much game over. Something out of the pocket here. Obviously, 4th down and long. I'm expecting some sort of low dead. Okay, Sterling calls a timeout right before that ball is snapped.
Timeout.
Thankfully for them, because the quarterback tripped on his own player right as that play was starting. So they'll get another opportunity to. They'll get another opportunity to draw the play here. That was their final timeout, 4th down. See what they got in their playbook. Looks like the ball's on the ground. Still up though, and he's tackled. Turnover on downs on the 1-yard line. And that's going to do it here. The Vikings can kneel out the clock and end the game.
3-yard loss.
Pretty excited sideline there for the Vikings. They're going to come away with the win here, week 1. Good football on both sides, though. A lot to be excited about for the Wildcats and the Vikings. They both had their turn putting up points. They both had their turn making stops on defense. Wildcats are going to want to fix some things coming into week 2. Hopefully they can be prepared to face a good Wolverines team. And then the Vikings, they'll get a week off, or a couple weeks off. We won't have games Memorial Day weekend. So they'll have some time to fine-tune their offense and be ready for the back half of the season. Vikings take a knee, so that should do it for us here. They might have to kneel down one more time.
Take a knee. 2nd down.
Looks like they'll get up and kneel one more time, and then that should be the game.
And another knee.
Thank you for tuning in.
And that will end our game. The Vikings have won 14-8.
So Vikings with the win, 14-8. The 8 o'clock game this week was canceled due to a lack of players for one of the teams. So they had to forfeit. So the Hawks, after week 1, are 1-0. Vikings 1-0. Tune in next week. As again, I mentioned, the Hawks versus the Spartans will start at 6 o'clock. And
remember,
the Wildcats
next week,
versus the Wolverines
Hawks
at
versus
8.
Spartans,
Thank you.
6 p.m.